今はやめといてあげるが、帰って魔法の研究と。それから昼はゴブ狩り。
What's going on, my friends? So should you watch Loner Life in Another World? And this one is not difficult to answer, but at the same time, I want to be sensitive to those who maybe read the light novel or who really dug the first episode. Now, should you watch it? My honest answer is no. A lot of anime end up giving you a lot of information when it comes to episode 1. And we just got done watching Loner Life in Another World. And for me, it's 95% of the time, maybe that's a little bit too gracious. Let's say 80% of the time, okay? So 8 out of 10 anime that you're gonna watch, episode 1 is enough to make a decision if you should or should not watch the anime. There's that other small percentage of anime that genuinely do need another 1 or 2 more episodes to really decide. And I think that's where a lot of people get caught up in, and they kind of give themselves that 3-episode rule. I myself have that at times where I'm like, okay, I think I just haven't seen enough to really make a decision if this is for me or not for me. But more often than not, an anime really gives you enough quantitative elements in episode 1 if you should watch it or not. I think Loner Life in Another World, based on the episode 1, really did give us enough. It set us up for what kind of comedy we're in store for. It gave us what kind of vibes we're in store for. It gave us enough insight in Haruka, the main character, and what his character is going to bring to the table. The only thing that really episode 1 didn't give us is, outside of living the loner life, what other potential adventures or plot points can come up later. I think it hinted at least one of them, which you can kind of put 2 and 2 together. But that's probably the only thing I would say as like a small hole on what it didn't give us in totality. Now, here's the thing. Haruka is a loner by choice. He's by himself. And maybe it's not completely loner by choice. Maybe it's loner by experiences in life when he tried to maybe go outside of his bubble and it just didn't quite work. Outside of the one girl that he can kind of be human with, which is the class rep, which obviously he has a crush on and blah, 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 blah. He ends up, trying to run away from being isekai. He goes up to the top level of his school. He goes into the attic in his school. He gets isekai anyways. And the god dude, the person who was summoned, because he was being really annoying, he only had the leftover skills left. See, this made me tired just watching it. He only had the leftover skills left. And because Haruko is really annoying, he's like, F it. You can have just all the leftover shit. It's all yours, bud. And right there and there, I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. But it's just kind of like, it's blasé, okay? Then he goes and he's isekai into the world and he starts living his loner life. And moment after moment after moment, there is probably 3 or 4 significant comedic moments that the show attempted, and I did not laugh. And I'm going to tell you guys. Like, like a college girl experimenting on a Friday night with a couple of drinks in me, I'm an easy laugh. I'm an easy lay when it comes to the comedy. And this didn't hit me, okay? It did not hit with me. It didn't resonate with me. I didn't find it funny. I just kind of like, I was like, I didn't go like, like some comedy, it may not make you laugh, but it makes you smile. This was just like, like it is what it is. And whether it's the moments with the goblins, whether it's the moment with the bunny, whether it's the moment where he was done with mushrooms, whether it's the moment where what was the other moment that I tried to like comedy effect? I'm trying to think. Goblins, mushrooms, sleeping, his stomach growling. It doesn't cover how he shits or pees, so I hate when anime doesn't cover that, because it's like, oh, you just absorb everything. I feel like there was another moment in there too of that they try to go for a comedic effect, and they had like the really bombastic animation with his face and stuff, and it just didn't hit for me. I truly can sum this anime up as this is a mid time filler anime. And I just think that there's too much good this season to have to find one that is just filling the time. I don't think this is good enough for you or I to really go and sit here and watch it. I think the only ones who would have some sort of like, okay, I need to watch this is people who are familiar with the source material, who wants to see something that they enjoyed be adapted. And for those, it's because they read through the whole entire light novel. So I could definitely understand that. But I just think in comparison to some of the other new anime and all the returning anime this season, unless you have a lot of time on your hands, I just don't think this was good enough. If I had to put episode 1 on a scale, I would say this was a 5.5 out of 10. I just think this was very passable, like a D rating out of, F to A D rating. It was fine. It was passable. It wasn't awful. It wasn't good. It was just somewhere in the middle between awful and good. It was acceptable. And I just don't think it's good enough to be deserving of our time, nor do I even think it's good enough to be deserving of us watching an episode 2. And I know that can feel kind of harsh, but that's my realistic assessment of Loner Life in Another World. Is it just wasn't good enough. And I think that's okay. Now, again, if you have nothing to do on this aired on, let me see, when did this air? Hold on, let me just double check for you guys. This aired 2 days ago. So this aired on the 26th. So this aired on a Thursday. So if you generally don't have anything to do, you don't have homework, work, if you're pretty free on Thursdays, then, this is a time filler for sure. But I would much rather pick my belly button, okay, than watch this again. So do I think you should watch it? Do I think it's good enough? No, I do not. Of course, that is just my opinion on the grander scale. The ultimate decision lies with you guys. But if you watch this episode 1, let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. I just want to put a stamp on it. No, I did not think it was good enough. And no, I will not be watching this season. Although it was on my top 10 to watch this season, this was one of the ones that wasn't a like, yes, you have to watch this. If you guys go check out my content, if you check out my video when I kind of went through all the anime, this was one that made the list because I only had 5 for sure. Like, yeah, I cannot wait to watch this anime. It's like out of all the new stuff, not the returning, all the new stuff, I had 5 that I was like, oh my God, like, I can't wait to watch that. And then I had to basically pick 5 from my maybe, like, I'm 50 hot and cold on it, like my 50-50 list. I had to go pick 5 more, and this was one of the 5 that I decided to watch. So I don't think this was good enough. I don't think it's up to snuff. And I don't think in comparison to some of the other really good stuff that are coming out this season that we should watch it. All right? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Drag me all over the place if you don't agree. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. For those who are familiar with the source, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Try to keep it spoiler-free if you can. But yeah, I'll see you guys for more anime as we continue the fall season. Peace out, my friends.